welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are making a butterscotch apple pound cake topped with a butterscotch ganache and chopped glazed pecans. If you're interested in seeing how I made it, stay tuned. Also, while you're here, I ask that you please take a moment, look down below, press that red subscribe button, join our family, and come back for some more recipes. All right, y'all, here we have our ingredients for the cake. Up first, we have 3 cups of cake flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a 3.5 ounce package of butterscotch pudding. Everything has been sifted together in this bowl. Here we have 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 6 eggs at room temperature, 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature. Here I have 2 Honeycrisp apples that I have peeled and diced, and I have tossed in 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. We'll be using a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and here we have 1 cup of milk at room temperature. We're going to start by preheating the oven to 315 degrees. I'm going to try to speed this step up just a bit so you guys don't get bored. We're going to start by adding our butter to the bowl and then moving on to adding the sugar. Once I've added the sugar to the bowl, I like to let the mixer run for about 10 minutes. I let it run for 5, stop it, scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl, and then let it run for another 5 minutes. It's also at this point that I add any extracts that I'm going to use in the cake. Now it's time to add our eggs one at a time. Once I add an egg, I like to wait for the yolk to break before I move on to adding the next egg. And I just repeat this step until all eggs have been added to the batter. Now that all the eggs have been added, we're going to move on to adding our flour and milk. Whenever you're adding milk to a cake, you want to start with adding your dry ingredients and end with dry ingredients. So I'm adding about 1/3 of the flour. I'll go in with 1/2 of the milk, go back in with another 1/3 of flour, then add the rest of the milk, and then I'll finish with the rest of the flour. Don't forget to periodically turn the mixer off and scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl just to make sure everything gets well combined. So now we're going to go in and add the final ingredient, which are the apples. So we're going to slowly mix the apples in with the rest of the batter, and then we're going to go ahead and remove our bowl from the stand mixer and add our batter to the cake pan. Here we have the pan I'm going to use for the cake. I'm going to generously spray with some Baker's Joy. Quick note, the recipe that I just made won't all fit in this cake pan. This pan is a little too small, but I wanted the cake to have this shape, which is why I'm using it. I'll set the rest of the batter aside and make some cupcakes or something with it, but if you try to put the entire recipe in this pan, it will be too much and it will spill over as it bakes. So here I am going in and spraying with the Baker's Joy. So let me clean up my pan right quick. All right, so our pan is ready. Let's give it a little shake. Tap it a few times. So we're gonna place this in the oven, and to start, we're gonna bake it for about 1.5 hours. I will check on it to see if it needs more time. If so, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I'll see you when it is time to take the cake out of the oven. And just a quick note, this is the batter that I have left over, just so you can have an idea of how much I have. Here's the cake right after I took it out of the oven. It baked for a total of 1 hour and 20 minutes. We're gonna let it sit in the cake pan for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll flip it over onto a cake board. our cake board. Popping in with a quick voiceover. I removed the pan slowly because I could tell that it stuck a little before I even saw the cake, and I'm so irritated. I don't know why that's been happening so much lately, but we're going to let the cake sit out and cool, and then we're going to move on to making our ganache. Here are the ingredients for the ganache, if you will. Up first, we have 1/2 cup of heavy cream and an 11-ounce package of butterscotch morsels. We're going to start by heating the heavy cream. I initially thought that I would only need 1/2 cup to a cup of the butterscotch morsels, but I actually ended up needing the entire bag to achieve my desired consistency. So here we have the heavy cream. It has been heated. Here you'll see me add about 1/2 cup to that, but again, after letting it sit and mix for a bit, I realized I needed more and more, so I ended up using the entire bag. In addition to the glaze, I will also be topping the cake with these glazed pecans. So I'll just chop a few of those to sprinkle on top. So here the morsels have been sitting inside the warm heavy cream for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a stir. You can see just how loose it is. It's not thick at all. So again, this is at the point that I realized I needed more. So I ended up adding the entire bag to the measuring cup. So this is what it looks like once I've added all of the morsels to the heavy cream. It is a lot thicker than it was before. I will typically let this sit out at room temperature until it starts to cool and thicken a bit, but I want to go ahead and finish the cake, so I am going to place this inside the refrigerator for a few. So we'll be back once it's nice and thick and time to glaze the cake. All right, y'all, so I am back. I ended up putting this in the refrigerator to speed up the thickening process. So I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle this on the cake, sprinkle the glazed pecans, and we'll be all done. Here we have our chopped pecans. All right, y'all, so let me clean up my mess and then I'll bring you guys in for a closer shot. We have made it to the end of another video. Here we have our finished product, our butterscotch apple pound cake topped with glazed pecans. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions about anything I've done, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. I'll be sure to reply. While you're here, I ask that you please take a moment, look down below, press that red subscribe button, join our family, and come back for some more recipes. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.